What's
What are you talking about?
What?
Okay, whatever. All right. Welcome to another.
Say?
Welcome to another episode of Same Shit, Different Day. Hi, everybody. We've got a recorded intro, so if you're watching the recorded version of this, you don't have to deal with my rambling.
Hey, Internet. Welcome back to Same-ish Different Day, the podcast where we continue the march into madness. I'm Raza Malik, and I'm joined with my Amazeballs co-host, Bayley Nargang. Also featuring the lovely Wine Mom, the arbiter of everything TikTok and YouTube.
Hey, it's Wine Mom.
Bayley here. Gotta drop that reminder that you can find this show on any streaming service you use. Remember to leave a sassy review, and you want to bash us or our opinions generally? Well, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and maybe some other places in the future.
I join these guys weekly to keep their egos in check as we break down complex social issues and talk about why your kids shouldn't be watching family vloggers.
We talk about real-ish on a real level. Ain't got time for the Twitters? Don't worry, we have collectively wasted our existence combing the internet for you.
Also, before these two get carried away, don't be shy. Join our Discord for the inside scoop. You can also support us on Patreon, where you can work your way up our very own class system. And don't worry, it's pay to win.
So welcome back to another episode of Same Shit, Different Day, where we try not to rip each other's heads off.
Let's get it. Okay, so either way, botched intros aside, our topic for today, we wanted to go with something that me as the sassy internet type, I think a lot of people neglect that, like, Thanksgiving isn't always the funnest opportunity for everybody, you know? Like, sometimes you got some toxic family members or toxic situations. Who knows what's been swept under the rug, right? Like, we wanted to have a critical discussion on, like, the many facets of that, how you deal with it, what freaks you out about it, or any personal stories you've had with it. And for me, with the wacky family, is definitely a very timely subject because family Thanksgivings are usually not normal.
When I was writing the script, I didn't mean to be central to Thanksgiving, but that's something that we can run with.
Well, no, thank you,
Thanksgiving.
Raza. You guys are making, yes, thank you. This is a fucking great intro. Good job, boys.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So according to Raza, it's not just Thanksgiving anymore, but let's relate it because it is the season. You know what I'm saying? So, like, family dinners. How the fuck do you deal with Uncle Jerry when he has too many beers?
I'm brown, so I don't drink.
Oh my gosh. What a load of crap.
This is the toxicity that I was talking about, guys.
Okay, no, you're right. You're right. So Raza, let me flip it to, like, let's turn it into a podcast educational moment. All right. Mm-hmm. How does the drama, if there's drama in a Raza household family dinner, how does it occur if it isn't a bunch of booze and sassiness?
It's just like we get in heated debates over politics, specifically with a certain state. I'm not going to name it because I can't. And then now it's moving on to it's getting more colorful. By colorful, I mean it's getting even more harder to have conversations with people. Well, not everybody, but we're all, like, super different. I have a cousin who's super conservative. He was ranting about how he's just like, well, he's not conservative. He's like, he's something, but he's just like, it's different. He's all about, I'm trying to teach my kids that the clone, like, stuff here is bad. The colonialism stuff here is bad and stuff. So he's like that. And then it's mostly over politics, sometimes religion, but we have philosophical debates in our house. And we had a huge heated thing about Saudi Arabia yesterday.
Damn. So it's like all intellectual based. There's never like, oh, yeah, Uncle I don't want to be. I'm gonna come out with a stereotypical name in some way if I try to predict your
Yeah.
family members' names. Uncle
Sure.
Malik. There
Yeah.
you go. Uncle Malik
Sure.
was fucking
Sure.
around and whatever. Lost his doctor's degree. Is there ever like
Yeah.
weird shit like that?
No, it's more like straightforward stuff. Like there's that gossip, but usually uh the person that we're gossiping about sometimes is there, and then it gets like,
Oh,
wait a second, what's going on here?
I see.
And I hope they don't see this stream. But it's like it's nothing too hardcore, nothing too like scandalous. It's mostly like, yeah, politics or like the easy stuff that you can digest without having to hurt people's feelings. Or it's mostly my dad screaming, but other than that, it's pretty chill.
Hmm.
How
Bring
about
up Israel,
you?
he's just going nuts.
You got anything going on, Wine Mom? Is your Thanksgiving a peaceful occasion?
Um. Yeah. I mean, we don't really do Thanksgiving anymore. Like we
Yeah.
always eat together, but it's not like when I was a kid. It would be like put on your nice clothes, and we're all gonna go over to so and so's house, and we're gonna eat all this food, and then we also have to sit around and watch a movie together while we all have dessert, even though everybody wants to go home and put their pajamas on. But we don't do that anymore. Usually, just like eat with my mom and my grandma, and that's it.
Yeah.
Peaceful. We choose peaceful. No stress, please.
That's
Yeah. The only
sim-
stress is cooking. That's what I've
Yeah.
heard.
And I don't do that,
Similar
so
110% happened with my family. It wasn't even wokeness that made us stop immediately. It was that. It was like, why do we have to do all of these pleasantries when none of us really enjoy it? So like, why are we still
Yeah.
celebrating this?
yeah.
That's yeah.
So I kind of like stopped with my family quite some time ago. But what I've been experiencing now lately, and like, so it's not too, I'm not going to go any personal stories about any specific people, but what I've noticed is being like an only child without much family, right?
Mhm.
Watching other people's like holiday customs of like how they eat and how they like pass food around the table and shit. It's
Weird.
always such a wild, weird experience, man.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, yeah, I guess because yeah, broken home stuff.
Well, see, it's funny that Bailey said that though, because I had a long-term partner, and so I would go to their Thanksgiving with their family.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was very weird because, like I have a single mother household. So I'd go there and it would be like all the moms and dads and cousins and kids. And I was like, I feel very uncomfortable. Doing my
You're
best
not used to
here.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, very, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the good thing at least was that their grandmother was there. And I enjoyed the company of their grandmother because it brought me some sort of comfort. But other than that, everything else, I was like, where's the escape? Please.
Yeah. For us, it's like a cultural thing too. Being like having a big family and doing all these things is a normal cultural thing for us. So like whenever we do things, it's like a big deal. We always make a big deal out of
But
it
like, what do you
because it's ingrained in it's
what do
big.
you do? So you go, Raza walks in a family gathering, you just like start playing with kids and shit. Like that's what I don't get.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
get
I
it.
did that like all this week because my cousin brought their kids over and my dad was just playing with them. It's almost like everybody was in sync with because like us it's all about like com- having a close family, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how we have been. That's a I guess that's a like a Daisy thing, or like it's also found in other Spanish, like in like South American cultures that have a very tight knit family. So like
Mm-hmm.
it's like that. Like when they come over, it's always a yeah. Like I'm always
Yeah.
engaging with my cousins and hanging out with my niece and
See,
nephews.
that's
Like
the
my
part.
one,
That's the
yeah,
part of
sorry,
the interaction that's like intriguing to me because I'm not used to that. I'm
yeah,
not used to like I don't have a room full of people that know me. You know what I mean? And when I
yeah.
do, it's
Like
like,
my
oh, I've seen you every few years. I've seen you here and there. Like I don't know. It's a much
that's what it
different.
is kind of because what now we're actually like making more of an effort to meet each other. Like I've seen these guys 3 weeks ago, and it's just like every time that like again like it's like a big deal when we do it. So when it's like when you make an effort, people our family members at least sort of pick up on that. Like I built a relationship with my niece, and like she's like telling me like all the college or all the universities that she wants to go to, and that's something that like I didn't expect to have, but like it's like cool. Like is I because I'm used to it, all these like dynamics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I feel where you guys are coming from, which is a different.
See, like my family, it's small, but it's all really close though.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing. It's like
Mhm,
it's super intimate because it's like we're not only are we the people that's having the dinner together, but we're
mhm.
also like close, very close. For
Yes.
me, I feel like that's just that's more the vibe. But I
Mhm.
think for myself, because I've thought about this as I get older, um, I'd want to do like a Friendsgiving versus a
Yeah.
family Thanksgiving. Just because I feel
Yeah.
like Thanksgiving is it's just an excuse to eat together with
Yeah.
family. And at
Yeah.
this point, like I do that with my family all the time anyways, and like
Yeah.
we will do that for Christmas because Christmas is different.
Mhm.
I would rather like get together with like a few friends and have like we
Yeah.
all make random food and just eat together.
Right.
I feel like that's a
Yeah.
Oh,
vibe.
when I get my new
Even
apartment, I'm
for
gonna start cooking up a fucking storm. Sorry,
Do
Raza.
it.
nice. It's just like yeah, like for like us, it's like um uh you should like yeah, it's like a big like a big tight knit family. So we're kind of the same in that aspect, but like uh people like when we meet, it's like it, it's like yeah, it's like it kind of is intimate because how close we are and how much we engage with each other, but
Hmm.
it's something like yours, but you I feel like you can still manage holding conversation and
Yeah.
whatnot.
So then, do you have, and like relating it back to how I introed it? You don't have any like toxic family members? You don't have any like
Like
uncomfortable
I
situations?
I
I mean,
mean when yeah sorry well,
no, go ahead. I can go.
like okay so my a lot of a lot of my cousins on my dad's side don't like really talk to us anymore
Mm.
because of just internal stuff, but like ever since my grandmother died they have been super distant to us, and like
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's just like yeah there was a weird sort of we felt like strangers essentially hang Thanksgiving with them. We went 1 year, it was like we felt like complete outsiders, but me and my mom are a lot more sociable than my sister and dad. So we didn't really pay attention to that. But like looking back, I was like, yeah, like here at Thanksgiving, all 10 of us are just running around helping out.
Mm-hmm.
But at my uncle's house, it was just like all four of them were in another part of the house while we were waiting to be served.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a weird sort of. I felt like
Right.
a stranger. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to my family, the toxic person just doesn't show up, so no
That's fair.
problem.
Oh,
That's
lucky
fair.
I
you.
don't have to worry. I don't have to deal with it.
Well, lucky
And if
you.
they show up, then I don't show up. So it's just that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I've like witnessed many different methods now through my years,
Mhm.
and it's very intriguing. Because like I have
Mhm.
one side, like I've married into families that are very privileged, and then I've also like had my own small family experience, and
Yeah.
like I've seen both. I've seen both. I've seen the ones where it's like there's fights breaking out at Thanksgiving. And,
Oh
and
no
then at
way.
the same time, like the loudmouth side of the family that I come from is like there's not necessarily toxicity, but if someone's fucking up, like there's gonna be words exchanged. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's
I get that.
this
Yeah.
weird, interesting. My bigger thing coming out of that is like I do prefer my family situation of like just call it, just talk about it, just talk about everything instead of like this whole.
Mhm.
I've experienced the more
Ye-
privileged side through my other
Yelling.
family of the no of the they don't really say anything. They don't say anything. everyone pretends there's no beef, and then all of a sudden, oh, this cousin and uncle are fighting outside because, oh, Jimmy did that and Timmy did this behind their back, and it's some fucking soap opera,
God damn it, Timmy.
right?
Well, if anybody wants some advice of how to handle a toxic Thanksgiving dinner, just go get baked, and then you won't even know what's happening.
That's
Trust
fair.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually just
But,
get
like-
very drunk. That's my goal. I get very drunk.
Do you guys have to deal with like family politics?
Not really. I mean, like when I say it's small, I mean like it's 3 people. So
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes, but because
Lucky
we're all
you.
opinionated as fuck, there's many times where it's fucking agree to disagree. Because everyone's on a
Yeah.
different end of the spectrum. I'm sitting there looking like this. My uncle's a fucking redneck. The other one's illiterate. Like, it's this whole weird array of people. And then sometimes my other uncle's like a university educated therapist that travels the world giving lectures and like supports the native community in the Northern Territories. So it's like,
yeah.
we disagree on quite a lot of shit, so there are usually heated debates that sometimes end in like a grumpy walk away. I'm gonna go have a cigarette, but you come back in and it's all good.
Right. It's just like I remember the people who used to live in this house before us, they had debates, and they would like get into like I think like straight up yelling matches, like, and it would like almost fights that broke down over like stupid stuff like politics again, religion at some point, just like some like mundane stuff. So
The trigger for my family is some stereotype country shit. Like if you try to, my redneck uncle, you try to tell him why oil is a bad idea, or you try to tell him why like hunting might not be cool, that you're fucking, there's no conversation. Like he's just gonna come down on you with like, you don't get it,
What
blah
the
blah blah.
fuck did
The
you
tar
say?
sands. I run a paving company, and oil keeps us. It's like there are certain topics that are just like you can't. You just know not to bring up because this one guy's gonna be passionate about this and da da da. But
yeah, I don't know. It's like it's like, why do you want to spend time messing messing around against people who you've never seen in a long time and you're never going to see again?
that's what confuses me. Yeah, that's my thing, especially when I've got my I've got a big distant family, but I've never really like seen any of them, right? So it's like, what is this? What am I even doing? I don't get it. Like I don't understand the pleasantries, but I mean overall, it's just something I witnessed is like I don't understand the family drama aspects of it, and like I just if you're experiencing toxicity, I find it way better to just be like, yo, hey man, that made me uncomfortable.
But no one wants to say that
or
up to it. Yeah.
Or you just go get baked. That's
or
it.
that.
And then eat dessert that your grandmother kindly made for you and mind your business.
But
kids, remember, drug solves all the problems.
All of them. Don't say nobody does, Bailey, because that's what we're doing.
No, I was going to say not all of us have the awesome family that you can just go and get ripped aside from, though, you know?
Then make sure you have your driver's license. Make sure you have your driver's license so you can hop in the car and go home. That's what I do. I've had enough. I'm out.
Jeez.
Thanks for the good time.
Thanks for the memories, right?
Yeah. Peace out, homies. Yeah. Don't text. I won't answer.
It's like all these like weird like stories I hear of my friends. Like, yeah, we don't invite Uncle Jim over because he's kind of racist. So I was like, wait, what? All right. To me, all these things are new. Because
I mean, I think it sounds entertaining to you because you live in a world where like movies are just like a thing. So you think that it would be like a movie. It's not. It's uncomfortable. It sucks.
Movies are a thing to me.
Yeah, they are a thing to you.
I
Their reality for you.
They are
it's
free guy
very-
meant the world.
It is
What, Bailey?
very weird to feel those dramas, like when that shit is
Yeah.
happening in the moment, bro. When there's that family,
It's
something's
awkward.
blowing up. Holy crap! Yeah, like as I said, like the one was like, I won't name names. It was like I was at like a wedding for someone, and then like a buddy, my new cousin, his stepdad showed up, and then he just tried to fight his stepdad in the middle of the wedding, and it's like that's mad uncomfortable, right? Because then now the potential mom is fucked up, and then whoever knew the stepdad was like, and then the kid's pissed, and it's just it's a circus, it's a bonanza, bro. Thank you,
That's why
Raza. Valuable input.
I just don't go.
I was going to say something.
I'm teasing.
No, go.
I said I just don't go to things that I know if I'm going to behave that way, or I have a feeling to behave that way. I just don't go.
Yeah.
Avoid
Like I know that I cannot be on my best behavior, and I'm not going to try. So no thanks.
Adult Bailey has reached the same conclusion, and I do admire that. It took a lot of fucking up and a lot of watching cousins fight uncles to the point it was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick and choose these a bit more wisely.
Removie. Disappear. I am gone.
Like, yeah, it's just like I like how Bailey's family meetings turn out to be UFC fights.
Honestly.
They're like, nobody uses words. They're like, let's just bro down.
The one that's funny is, as I said, the one guy's like a therapist. Watching him with my country families, like he's always trying to recommend like going to therapy to all my family members, and they just cannot comprehend it.
First of all, I can't.
Why would I pay someone to listen to me when you're a certified therapist and I'm talking to you right now? And he's like, well, because they're like trained to listen to you. And he's like, well, aren't you? Aren't we talking? It's like, holy fuck, this is horrible.
Yeah, so it's like people from different walks of life are like that. Like you have a very like a diverse family, I assume, from what they do when they're in their things. But to me, well, for us, like your doctors, lawyers, or engineers. Oh, you're a doctor. Let's talk about our laws, our med school or some shit. That's what it is. So, yeah.
Oh, wine mom, do you have the blue collar version of that? Because I do. I have that of the fucking... all the men sit in a circle and just talk about like pouring concrete and driving fucking skid steers.
No, because...
Like a man.
No, because I find like most of my family, like they don't really talk about work when we're all together. We mostly just talk about like... We just talk about like old stuff, like memories from when we were kids, really.
Okay,
yeah, like when my mom and aunt are like here, like they just start talking about everything under this, like what the family history, what's going on in Pakistan, all the stuff that they've gone through and relatives, like how old brown aunties talk. That's how they are.
Yeah.
You know, which is yeah.
A lot of it is like my aunts and my like when we do have if we have like a family reunion is the only time when we all get together, and that's when like everyone's just trying to find out secrets about me. Do you have a partner? Do you live on your own? Who are you texting? Why are you smiling at your phone? You know, like those kind of questions. What are you doing in school? Where do you work?
So yeah, like my aunt, like every time we see her, she's like, "Raza, your cousin is getting married. What about you?
Yeah,
we need to find you. Are you looking for a brown girl?" And it's like I don't even know what's going on half the time. Just I don't know. It's so like it's just like there's those conversations that make me feel uncomfortable. But I never had a family like get together or a family reunion. If anything.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had one, but for me, it's more so like I just want to hang out with my mom's cousins because My mom is like a young mom, so a lot of her cousins are like they're not that much. They're like maybe 10, 15 years older than me, so that's a lot closer. So I just want to hang out with them and like talk about the stuff that they talk about. I don't really
Right.
want to get stuck with answering questions and hanging out with the little kids.
Exactly. See, I like all of my. I'm the Well, I was the youngest cousin, but now the age gap is like there's 29 and then 17. But the 17-year-old niece I have, her and I talk like best buds. So like whenever she comes over, she's always looking for me. And so
Mm,
we're like, "Where's Raza?" Everybody else is lame. And so like
cute.
I'm like that too, but but like I don't like talking to the adults because they're all on one thing, and they're all
Mm,
like, "Oh, when are you getting married? When are you
yeah.
working? When are you going to get a real job and not be a journalist?" Fucking, I don't know. So it's always like, yeah, it's always like what you said, wine mom. Like, who you getting? What do you think about marriage? Or you're getting old. What's your job? Who?
Yeah.
It's like that. But I'm just like those things like are I don't look forward to, but just generally speaking, everything else is fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just rambled on there. Anyways, Bailey, what
No,
about
it makes
you?
sense.
What
What
about
about
you?
me? In which way? In which way?
And
What
like,
about me?
do you have any people in like? Do you like do you avoid socializing with people when you're at your get-togethers, at family get-togethers, and
In
there's certain
certain people
members
that are
you
annoying.
want to talk to, or
Yeah.
rub me the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a specific person I don't enjoy, so I just like nod and say okay and like keep
You're the
answers to
puppet.
like one word sentences, like I just
Mm,
Yeah.
respond. I don't elaborate. I respond. I make sure they feel respected, and I keep them moving. But what I do is like I kind of Mr. Caregiver over here. I just kind of like took over my grandfather's role after he passed. So I'm just like hustling about. I'm making sure everyone's fed. I'm taking care of the kitchen. I'm like cooking all the food. I
Mhm.
like help take care, make sure everyone's having a good time. That's like my job at the family reunion, and I get really drunk
yeah.
as I
Right.
do it.
My mom does that, and then when we ask to help her, she's like, "No, everybody out, out, out," and then she turns around and says, "I'm so tired.
But
Nobody lives here."
you know why your mom does that?
Okay, why?
Because she doesn't want to socialize with everyone.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
when
Yeah,
she's
well, I
done,
guess. Yeah.
she wants your sorry ass to help her clean up. That's why she says
Yeah.
she's tired.
Yeah, no, but it's usually yeah. That's I feel like that's around the ballpark. But it's just like my mom is like whenever the kids come over, she's just like let's just they can do whatever they want, burn the house down,
Mm,
but don't come in the kitchen and stuff. So like when that happens, she gets like very like motherly kind of. And it's kind of
yeah.
interesting to see her turn and not treat her own kid the same way. But then they're like, hey, we'll treat these my two like nieces this way. And so yeah,
I've got
that's fun.
my grandmother. My whole life, my life has consisted of like misfit families. Like everyone just likes to like support the weirdos in the world. So it's like even I was like at the last time I was visiting my grandmother in Alberta, right? I'm like standing there in the kitchen and there's an Elvis impersonator, like a nom vet, a fucking weird set
Like
designer.
a
There's like all
RuneScape
of these
lobby.
like yeah, it's like the RuneScape lobby of weird humans walking through the kitchen. So at times it's like no, I really just do not want to talk to Elvis today. It's just a little bit
Yeah.
too
Yeah,
much. Like it's
like yeah,
fucking
I guess yeah. I feel like I'm a little bit I don't know different than you guys because like I look forward to that stuff. I look forward to
Nope. I look
meeting
for an
my
excuse every year.
yeah.
I
I'm
don't.
always there ready to be. I don't know this
I
stuff.
really struggle with it with like my relationships. Like I don't know how to do it. They go to these big. I don't know what to do. They're all like playing with kids and shit. So I just kind of like sit in the corner and like chill. Someone talks to me,
Yeah,
I talk and hang out. But otherwise, I
I'm
just like do my thing.
yeah. I think like I guess I'm able to uh like I'm multifaceted, if that's what you want to say, in more ways than one. I
Oh.
think I can. I'm because I'm able to talk with my aunt, who's like in a different age bracket, and I'm able to talk with my one cousin and then my two nephews in a different way. So I feel like it's. I think it's because of my mom and dad kind of like forcing us when we were a young age to meet the family members and
Yeah.
actually like get to know them, and that's what my one cousin is doing, and he's purposely making his way or making going out of his way to get his three kids to meet my parents all the time now because he wants them to know who my parents are.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't
Very
know.
Again,
fair.
it's like a Daisy thing. We want to be in contact. It's like just a big family, big healthy family. I feel like, yeah, that's my family.
Hmm.
So,
Thank you.
sorry guys.
I know you
No,
just went
it's
off
good.
about how good your own family is. I love it. I support it. I wasn't about to cut in and be like, "Stop talking about how
That's
loving your family is." So I'm not gonna
Right.
do
How
that.
dare you have a good time?
No, I
but
see you.
yeah,
Like
that's
I'm
yeah.
like not all my shit is like woe is me. As I said, all those misfit dinners are like good. It's wholesome. I feel happy that we can give all these people like a sense of family and
Yeah.
like we take care of these people. But yeah, it's just sometimes Bailey talks for a living. I get sick of dealing with all the
Yeah.
weirdos sometimes, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. Especially when I worked at the salon. You just talk all day to people all day. Then I would go to a family event and I would say, I'm definitely a bit of a brat. I don't talk much at family events because I don't want to be bothered. So I
I
get
Then
it.
have
why
to.
go?
I guess
Because
Raza
I
would.
don't have a choice, Raza. Some of us
That's
don't go to family events for fun. Some of us
Yeah.
go. Your mom says, you have to come with me because I don't want to go by myself.
that's fair.
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
I have much similar happen.
Yeah.
I
Um,
stand by what I said.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I think Raza would relate to the feeling of it's also like this. What was I gonna say? The fucking pressure to like perform. I gotta be
Yeah.
on. You
Yes.
know, everyone
Yeah.
Yeah,
has to
like
talk in a certain way, and it's like, oh my god.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I get that, like it's sort of like lightly, but not as much. Like it depends on the family
Yeah.
members. Like there's a way you want to present yourself, so like
Mhm.
they don't remember you to be a dick when they
Okay.
go
So
home.
here's the thing, right? Like, I'm sure you'll understand this, Bailey, because you had a single mom.
Hmm.
But when you are a child of a single mother, there's always that underlying judgment of like you're gonna be fucked up because your parent is a single
Yeah.
parent. So
That's
when
very
I
true.
go to family events or any kind of big family anything, I'm literally on my A point game. Like I'm perfect, I look perfect, I talk perfect, I
Yeah.
act perfect, I say all the perfect things, I'm super
Yeah.
polite. Like everything is about showing everyone that my mom did a good job because if I acted like normal or casual, like their kids, like a human being would, like their kids fuck up all the time, they would hold that against my mom. So there is that pressure to be like, I'm normal, put together person. Please don't
Yeah.
judge my mom. Thanks.
Yeah. I did have a bit of that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I did have a bit of that. And that's also why I bring up like if I'm seeing like my partner's family, I'm able to turn off and just be quiet and chill
Yeah.
because it's like
Yeah.
non-offensive mode. It's like I'm here, drink my beers, laugh at your jokes,
Yeah.
make a couple remarks to add to the story, so I seem like I'm involved, but I ain't want to play
Yeah.
with no kids. I ain't here
I
to
get-
spout my opinions, you know.
I get a little too involved with the discussion because I'm just like people because like ever since I started doing this YouTube stuff, they were like I have to answer for a lot of stuff what I do, so I get like I become the center of attention sometimes. I love it, but it's like
Sometimes he says.
it's just like I have to talk a certain way to maintain that sort of like aspect of that I'm not an idiot. And then yeah, like I'm the opposite of you, Bailey. Like I'm over engaged because I'm over engaged with it, and like yeah, I'm
'Cause
way
the,
too.
you don't
I
have
think it's a
'cause
cultural
on,
thing
on
at
the
the
other
same
side, on
time.
the other side, like with my own family, right? Like
Mhm.
imagine a family full of Bailey influences. They're all loud as fuck. So I'm the quiet one because I get tired of like I can't keep up with people like it's multiples of me. So like
Right.
sometimes I'll find when there's so much of all of us strong personalities in the room, I'll be a bit more quiet. You don't have that happen ever?
I'm not the strongest personality, thank God. But yeah, like when that happens, it's mostly like uh, I guess it's different because uh, everybody's so different in the house. And nobody really talks the same way because we're all super different in the way we think. Like I have an atheist cousin, and her brother, my other cousin, is a born again Muslim. So like it's like
Mm-hmm.
everybody is super different, and everybody can contribute where it doesn't become where you can also feel you can contribute in an equal way because you also come from a different mindset. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys. I need to get my parents divorced.
No, what was wrong with you?
No, I never wish that shit, bro. Never wish that
I'm
shit.
sorry. I'm
No,
s-
it's okay.
Jesus.
It's
Edgy
important
humor.
to have. It's important to have different experiences.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I concur. I definitely
Yes.
concur there. I think so that's why it's like, yeah, I have all these experiences. I try not to be a party pooper. I don't really like celebrating Thanksgiving, but I and my maturity have also learned to not be the sassy fuck because like I get that value that you have in that family time related to the holiday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like versus me, I didn't really do anything. I just had like a really uncomfortable dinner and then fucking now I'm just
Yeah,
here
it's like
podcasting.
Yeah.
we look at we look at Thanksgiving as not like how white people do, but like as a time just to chill with family. That's what it's just a simple thing, and everything else is like supplementary.
Cool. Cool. I feel like we got sidetracked from the original topic, and after I already hijacked it, I swear, my brain, I must have been injecting my own drama because I just, like, swear I read Thanksgiving in that paragraph and just fucking ran with it, Raza. So my bad.
LOL.
Thank you.
Really
Either
seeing
way,
shit.
we're now moving on to the next subject. As Raza's heads up, I will be inputting the next screen for the second part of this show, our new fantastical segment that Raza has concocted for us. Now, Raza,
Is it showing up on? Okay.
I'm just inputting it now. I'm inputting it now.
Okay. Okay.
This is a working title. It is not showing up. I have an empty link that says share your camera.
Share your camera.
I am sharing it. No. What in the heck?
Share your camera.
But
Stop sharing. Okay, 1 second. I'll try it again.
that's okay. I'm for the editing. So what? Friends and family out there in the internet, we're here. We need an actual name for this segment. We're about to like compare. Raza, can you explain what we're? But I don't know. Raza's too busy, so we are. He's created. It's not a bracket, but it is a bracket. But it's close to a bracket. But
It's
it's
something
kinda
like that,
a
yeah.
competition.
Yeah. Sure.
But-
Let's run on that one.
So, I don't want to spoil it too much, but in the name of October, we wanted to eval some movies that would be highlighted during this month, and then pit them against
Eval.
each other, so that we
I know
could
what that
actually
means.
select and evaluate.
Evaluate.
Come on, learn
Okay.
your business lingo. I thought you were an online writer. What is this?
Yeah, buddy.
I thought you can, suck my dick.
Wow.
That's inappropriate for the Twitch god, sir. It's inappropriate. That's suggestive. Suggestive. That's a hard word to say.
Suggestive?
Suggestive.
But
Calms my ass.
Raza, as we'll even say this live, then just to keep the content rolling. Do we have criteria with which we are judging these films?
Just based on scariness.
Scariness.
Just scariness.
Yeah.
No, you don't have like categories. We're just gonna have to like pit it head to head on scariness.
Based
So
on
is
because
Is scariness
I tried to
like
get categories, but y'all gave me movies that were all over the place, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go with that."
I did not.
Is
I'm just gonna
scariness
go with,
based on like how much it makes you shit your pants, or how much it like sticks
How much it
with
makes you
you
shit your
afterwards?
pants, how good it is, storytelling, the horror factor. Is it a horror movie that you want to take a person on the first date? We'll decide that.
Wait. But you didn't. Okay. We're doing movie comparison, but
Yeah.
we don't have a scorecard. We have to do that on the fly.
There is no
We're
scorecard.
winging it. Yeah,
Okay.
Raza's winging it.
There's no score.
Apparently.
So in other
No,
words, my
I
ability
literally
to
made
talk
this as
circles.
crystal clear prior
Okay.
to stream. Bailey, it's up. It should be in the description.
So
Okay.
my ability to talk circles around you guys is gonna come in handy, is what you're saying.
Sure.
Yes,
Oh.
likely, because I'm gonna be pulling facts out my ass for almost all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, this
Promotion.
table is pulled up. Let me just center it.
Drum
a
roll.
little bit better. Okay.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, good shit.
All right.
All right. So, one month, if you can see the stream,
I can see it.
so you and no one has to really argue. I mean, all three of us can talk about it. But
Okay.
the movies, we picked eight movies. And you can see, we're only going to talk about the first two today: The Shining and Gremlins. So, The Shining. Obviously, we've all seen The Shining, right? One of the scariest movies
All right.
in the last, 30, 40 years. Jack Nicholson, crazy book, good director. Gremlins, pretty sure this was a weird one because I had to double check if it was a horror movie, and it is kind of a horror.
It is a horror movie. I checked.
It is a horror.
I checked.
I saw some video of it. It's actually fucking nightmare fuel. So, because they turn into these weird things.
They turn into
because they eat
gremlins,
too
fam.
much.
What are you saying? Because they eat after midnight. You can't.
Yeah,
feed
exactly.
them
They eat after midnight. Exactly, and it's like, it's such a didn't it have 2 or 3 sequels?
Yes, it did, and those became like B classics. But let's get to the introduction. You're favoring my selection here.
Hold on, Bailey.
What's up?
Make sure you're playing it fair on the stream, okay? I only see a Gremlins.
Oh yeah.
I'm pulling
movie poster.
I'm having issues. I'm circumventing them with my tech skills. I am screen capping your thing right now.
I can link you to.
No, I already got it.
Directly.
I already got it. I'm a fucking tech genius. I'm a motherfucking
You're a
lyrical genius, dog.
Dog! Do you see Lady Gaga? And Paul.
Gosh.
Right.
Oh, and you even got the good one. You got the good one. That's the good one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got them. I did my homework on a bunch of these movies except for Tall Grass. So I can
It's good.
inject the conversation.
Anyway, So what's the process here, buddy?
Yeah, Raza,
Really,
kick it off.
I've
Tell
watched
us
The
what we're
Witch.
doing. Tell us how we're doing this, buddy.
Well, you should put that in there. So
No.
the first two movies that are on screen
Yeah.
are Gremlins and The Shining. After he moves the marching to Minister, are Gremlins and The Shining, and we're going to talk about the horror factor of these movies. Maybe because these movies are actually low key iconic. Well, one is low key iconic, the other one's high key iconic, and they both set up a trend. And they actually both have legacies. That's the thing behind them. We're going to talk about the story, how if the story is scary enough, if it was scary, like for time, was it scary? Why is it? What did you like? Why did you pick these ones? And we're gonna just jump off there and try our best at doing this. So
Okay.
and then I'll throw it to who's first. The Shining. So I'll throw it to Wine Mom first
To
be like,
Wine Mom?
just tell us what's the deal, Wine Mom?
What's the deal with The Shining?
Okay. So, first of all, The Shining is from 1980.
All right.
Okay? 1980. So it's old,
Okay.
but nobody can tell me that it doesn't stand the test of time. Okay?
It ain't no Exorcist.
Raza, be careful, okay? The Shining for me is the ultimate movie, and not just horror movie. It's ultimate movie, okay? It is filmed beautifully. It has little Easter eggs and things that you didn't notice before until you've watched the movie multiple times. So it has replayability.
Yes.
It's also directed by Stanley Kubrick, which he has a lot of conspiracies and like just stories hovering above him, which makes not only is the movie amazing, but filled with conspiracy theories and Easter eggs based off of Kubrick's life, but also it's directed by Kubrick, so it's amazing. Okay, it's such a good movie. It's literally like 12 movies. It's 12 movies in one. Okay.
How does it elaborate for the people?
Okay, the reason why it is 12 movies in one, maybe not exactly 12, but so when you watch The Shining, there are so it's like a 2.5 hour, almost 3 hour movie. Okay. But there are significant chunks of the movie that feel like its own mini movie within the big movie. So it feels like you're getting these little tiny horror aspects that just keep building. Not to mention like the characters within the show within the movie, excuse me, because the movie is made like it has a small cast, right?
Yeah.
And it's a very intimate setting because it's all set within this hotel. I don't want to spoil, but I'm assuming like if you're here, you would have watched The Shining. I think it's long enough, right?
So yeah, the rule is 3 years.
Okay, so screw all of you guys who have not watched The Shining. What are you doing with your lives? So there's all these different aspects, right? So there's like a scene where he so the beginning of the movie he's at home with his wife, and that feels like a little movie itself. And then he's at the hotel having the interview with the director, and that feels like a little movie itself. And then they meet the guy in the hotel who also has The Shining, and then that feels like a little movie within itself, right? But all of the characters, because so again, like I was saying, so it's basically the movie, the concept of the movie is there's a guy which is Jack Nicholson's character, doesn't have a lot of luck as far as work is concerned. He has alcohol abuse problems. He's currently sober. He gets this job as like a keeper of the hotel because he wants to be a writer. And so being at this hotel for however many months in the winter, it's perfect opportunity for his wife and kid to have tons of things to do. Plus he can write his book, and all he has to do is maintain this hotel, which nobody is in except for him and his family, right? So classic cabin fever. Okay. So, of course, he starts to have all these weird things happen to him. And there are just so many iconic scenes in horror that are in this show or in this movie, sorry, that I feel like so many other movies have borrowed and used in some degree.
Copy.
Not only that, okay, but the cinematography in this movie, let me just tell you again, this movie is from 1980, okay? And some of the cinematography and effects in this movie are better than what we're getting in 2021. Okay? And nobody
Yeah,
can tell me anything.
it's one of those movies where it's like, it is ahead of its time. It is definitely ahead of its time. It did,
That's for
1,000%.
sure. That's for sure.
it did, it did stuff that no movie was doing. As you brought up the cinematography, the whole scene where he's chasing his son what do you
Maze?
call it? In the maze,
Yes.
that
Wild.
actually holds up. You can put that up against any movie with that today's movie and put them beside each other, and
Exactly.
you could easily compare the two. It
Exactly.
did, and then Jack Nicholson, his career was already taken off because he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
Yes.
prior
Yeah.
to this, and it being a Stephen King book, right?
Yes.
That also pushed it on
It,
the
it,
echelon.
it
Bailey,
elevated it just that
hold
little
on a
bit.
minute. Hold on, Bailey.
What?
If I linked you a YouTube clip of The Shining, would that break any copyright laws?
I don't think so. I could try to play it if you want.
Okay, here. It's in the don't
Okay.
touch is okay.
So, also, the thing that's great about this movie is, like you said, it is based on a Stephen King book,
Mhm.
which, just so you know, Stephen King backed this movie and was like, this is well done, I appreciate this, like I'm for this, just so everybody knows.
Yes.
That's the big deal, because Stephen King has come out before and said he didn't like the way that movies were done on his
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
But so when it comes to Stanley Kubrick, there's a lot of lore around him as a person, and
Mhm.
I like that he used this movie, whether people believe it or not. You gotta watch the documentary Room 236 or something like that, I think it is, which is basically breaks down the conspiracy theories that are within this movie based on Stanley's life. But this is a very common thing that I'm sure everyone has heard, is that they believe that Stanley was the one who directed the moon landing, and he's known for, in multiple of his movies, is using the cinematography and the like movie effects and editing that are in the moon landing and reusing them in his movies to kind of show, like, I did this, right? But
Right.
there's one scene that everybody talks about a lot. Danny's in the middle of the hotel on the carpet, and when you're first looking at him on the carpet, you can see the pattern of the carpet is like matching with his body the right way, and then he has an Apollo sweater on for the original flight to the moon, and then they switch it, and then all the carpets have flipped around. It's very eerie. It feels very much like he just got flipped upside down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good. Okay, you
It's like,
cannot
yeah,
touch it.
it's a movie that you don't need the jump, like there were jump scares in it, but it didn't
You don't.
didn't
It's not.
didn't need them.
This is the
Like,
thing.
yeah,
Okay, hold on. This is the thing.
yeah.
There's another movie that I have also recommended for this list, which we will get to eventually. I really like horror movies that don't say a lot. And the
Yes.
thing with this movie is that it's filmed in a beautiful hotel. The color is beautiful. The filming is perfect. The aesthetic is on point. But also, the movie is quiet. There is a lot of quiet within this movie, which allows you a lot of time to, like, look around at the aspects that are being put into the movie. And even
Yeah.
just the scene where he's at the bar with the bartender and it's all quiet, and then all of a sudden it's just like a full, it's so good, you can't touch it.
That's what
Telling
Raza
you.
sent. I was gonna play it, but then I realized we're talking about the Shining and Gremlins, and that's definitely gonna have a copyright on it. So let's not
Really?
play the Shining.
It's like a
It's owned by
oh,
like
okay.
Warner Brothers or something like that. Now,
But a third
or published
party,
by.
Mm.
a third. I got it from a third party though.
But okay, the fucking
Anyway.
Twitchies.
All right.
But
Anyway, everybody watch The Shining if you have not watched it. Now Bailey's going to tell you why Gremlins is not as good as The Shining. So
okay.
We're gonna double back to The Shining and
So I don't get to stand my
Gremlins.
case. What the fuck?
No, you do.
Okay.
You do, but like
You get to tell
afterwards.
everyone why it's not as good as The Shining. Go ahead.
Okay. So
This is
if we're talking cultural influence, Wine Mom, have you in your life ever wanted a Furby?
I had a Furby.
yeah.
I had
That
multiple
is
Furbies.
because of Gremlins.
Oh boy.
All right. So
Really?
cultural influences. Cute little Gizmo here. This little sucker. That you see that cute little teddy bear in the image? Have you ever a good horror movie makes you attached to the character that can then become the villain who torments you for the rest of the film, right? It tears at your
Right.
fucking heartstrings. It just breaks them apart, right? So what Gremlins does excellently, that frames possibly the whole Marvel cinematic storytelling way, you know, of like having empathy for the villains. Gremlins started that. So, you know, this movie, what it does excellently is provide you with this cute little cuddly thing that every child would want and want to see in their homes, right? Like you kind of watch it. It is so creepy because like any kid can like see a clown and then the clown is going to be spooky like Pennywise, right? So now Gremlins was incepted into these kids' minds that whenever they see something cute and cuddly like a guinea pig or a little teddy bear, it could be a fucking gremlin. Like, how would you know?
Could you argue it's like Chucky?
It's kind of like Chucky if you're an imaginative kid.
Right.
But no, I'm bullshitting
What
too hard.
imagination
So, these
you
little
have.
fucking gremlins, the story is you got Gizmo, this little gremlin thing. Some shady pet dealer gives it to our main character, right? Main character is then told that the gremlin has 3 rules, right? The gremlin's 3 rules are, I have pulled it up somewhere so that I can remember. The gremlin's 3 rules.
Put it in the
are
chat
that-
or on the screen.
I can't. That's too much. You cannot expose them to bright lights. You cannot let them get wet, and you cannot feed them after midnight.
Because
Okay? Or else they turn into a gremlin.
there you go.
Right? And
Yeah.
that's your worst nightmare. Okay. So now, when
Not
I'm
being
trying
in
to
a chase in
argue,
a hotel with Jack Nicholson.
yeah, and can you imagine? Wine Mom here is trying to argue The Shining has genre-defining cinematography. Do you see this? Do you see this cute little fucking monster right here? Right? The amount of puppetry. So guess we're talking about big names. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, yeah, he is
executive
behind this
produced
one.
Audible
Gremlins.
eye roll.
And guess who made all the fucking puppets? Jim Henson, right?
No
So
way.
Now, if we're gonna be arguing about the credibility of the practical effects, I would argue that Gremlins' ability to bring to life these terrifying little monsters on a consistent basis and capture the imagination of the youth was a successful implementation of practical effects to the same degree as The Shining. Because just like The Shining has many scenes that are troped in popular media, so does Gremlins.
Yeah, Gremlins. Yeah. You know what's sad about this? I won't be able to debate my movies as well as both of you, so none of my movies are going to be on the list. I want to point that out there.
Listen, I can
Listen.
respect your opinion, Bailey. I can.
You're right.
But
You're right.
The Shining, like literally, so many of their scenes are the basis of like that opening scene of The Shining has yet to have been recreated, matched, even like you can't. Everybody tries, but you cannot.
There's
can't.
Johnny.
Like at that time, it was just not a thing that was being done or really could be done. And Stanley was like, "We're gonna do this." Okay, there's one scene. Okay, let me just say, because I've watched a lot of like behind the scenes on this.
Okay.
So I'm not a Stanley stan because he was really, really mean to the main actress. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
A director, an
Okay.
amazing director.
No, he was really mean. Okay,
Okay.
but this is the thing.
And you know what?
There's a lot.
No puppets were harmed in the making of the Gremlins.
I don't believe that. So
Yeah.
there's a scene. There's a scene in The Shining, okay, where Wendy, her name is Wendy. Wendy locks Jack in the freezer, right? She like knocks him out and then she locks him in the freezer because he's being all like cabin fevery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wakes up from being knocked out and he's leaned over with his arms on the door and his head is facing the ground. And he's like trying to convince her to open the door. And he's like using his sweet husband voice, right? That scene is filmed from a camera, like from Stanley laying on his back underneath Jack, filming that scene. It is an amazing scene. Like the expression and the character that Jack is able to play. Like,
Right.
I'm sorry, you can't. You're talking about people who are like, it's beautiful. The Shining for me, it does not bring me fear anymore. I love it. It just gives me peace and joy because it's just so perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, but Gremlins
So
brings terrifying nightmares to the youth.
yeah, look at the stream.
And are we not
I see
arguing
it.
the effectiveness of horror movies incepting the minds of the youth? Right? Is that not the goal?
That's not the goal. The goal is to argue which movie is better.
It sounds like The Shining is a better movie, but I think Gremlins more effectively spooked the shit out of little kids.
Get Bailey, come on. Man.
Okay, listen. Little kids being scared. You want to know what's scary for? You want to know what's scary? Your dad suddenly trying to kill you and your mom with a baseball bat in the hotel in the middle of nowhere, and it's winter, and you gotta hope that this old guy can make it to the hotel in enough time to save you.
Yeah, but
that's scary for little kids because now your dad is scary.
But I'll counter that. But I'll counter that and say, look, like, okay, yeah, that's scary, but you know what else is scary? Having a cuddly thing that looks fucking like huggable. You can be like, I want to take you home with me, but in actuality, that cuddly thing can eat your face and kill you.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a thing that can get crazier and quicker and more insane. But yeah, that's
avoidable. You don't have to have the cute, cuddly little creature, but you can't avoid having a dad.
You can.
No, you can't.
Barely.
Everybody has dads, even if your dad's not in your life. A dad still exists. Sorry about it.
But you wouldn't go to the to the hotel with your estranged dad, though, right? That's what.
No, but it's not an estranged dad. He's a little kid. He doesn't have a choice. He's with his mom.
Anyway, so Gremlins and The Shining.
Okay.
Ronald's really trying it today.
Trying what?
Who's trying it? So are you judge? Are you making the final decision?
Sounds like he's the judge.
I'm not making anything because all three of us are going to come to it. I just want to add my input. I'm just saying the Gremlins and The Shining. I noticed prior to those movies, horror was like in your face, not as like in your face. It was all like loud, quick and stuff. But then these movies sort of like said, why do horror movies need to be like that? Let's talk about a different aspect of horror. And in Gremlins' case, it was like these creatures that had a plot point that they change over time, and in Shining's case, they were like, let's talk about the psychological side of horror, and stuff like that. So like, both of these movies were scary without having to be, were subtly scary. Gremlins a little more so because what happens to them, but The Shining, in its own aspect or its own respect, was just like, it made you think more. It was a movie that says like, what happens if this happens to you. Like, what would you do in this situation? Like, because
Right.
everybody deals with cabin fever, or like loneliness, or like or developing these things that make you go insane in a place that gives you a weird energy. So both of these movies brought a lot to cinema, um, but only one can go on.
Well, I think we know which one's gonna go on. Okay, because not only did it see the idea of a horror movie and then take the challenge of making it an artistic masterpiece, okay, but also, is that not the scariest concept right now in the current status of the world, where we basically all had cabin fever for the last year and a half? I think that is true horror.
Mine is uh, getting the wrong Big Mac meal.
Okay, you
That's
know that
mine.
it's the fact that we've been in a pandemic. Nice try.
I don't know.
I live,
I've been
love,
scared
laugh.
that my like little fucking pet will turn in. I don't know. I don't know, man. I have some irrational fears.
Well, they're irrational. So, the more plausible horror would The Shining?
I'll submit.
Can I correct?
I will submit. Yay! Wine Mom wins. The Shining
Listen,
wins.
you were gonna submit either way because you knew that I'm never letting it go. I would never give up. I can't. This movie is my lifeblood.
I would like to state for the record that I
I
put
would like
up
the record to show.
the record should show that I fought a good case. All right.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Oh man.
And it was all made up on the spot. Thank you, judge, and thank you, jury. I appreciate your
Thank
time
you.
today.
I have I think I have a Furby somewhere in this house, but I don't know where it is. Or my sister.
Mine's gone. Mine's long gone.
One.
Oh, I'm gonna make a long Furby soon.
Oh, you're
They
so
made
creepy.
new ones, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. But yeah, I don't want to go on a long Furby rant. So okay,
No.
now we got. Now that we have concluded our horror movie segment, we're moving on to our Reddit corner, Reddit selection corner.
There's two of them,
Redditeria.
so whichever one you want, I guess.
Whichever one you
All right.
want. Okay, I gotta check.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. Pick a good one.
One is they're both relationships.
Ooh, spicy.
The first one is I forget what the first one is.
Did you write these, Raza?
No. God,
is this your way of secretly asking me to give you relationship advice? You have my number. You can text me.
I don't need relationship advice. I am.
Okay, I gotta read the other one, and it's not because Raza, you have a funny one. Okay, so the one I'm skipping, Raza selected. It was about dilemma of like a polyamorous couple. Of like, what if?
I forgot what it was. Okay.
But the grammar in it is like hilarious. It's like, last month she told me that she is a polyamory, and since then it doesn't feel the same. It's like his grammar in here is like so unenjoyable.
Is that what's the singular form of that word?
I mean, I don't want to restrict her by any means, you know.
Okay. I see what you mean, because he was just typing away, probably on his cell phone.
Yeah, probably, but it was either way. That wasn't a bad one, just bad grammar. So, okay, you ready, Mom? Right. You ready for the proposition?
I'm ready.
So,
is this the second one?
Yeah, I'm seeing an anti-vaxxer and a flat earther. Okay, so he's emotionally available, easy to open up, and has a healthy lifestyle, which is quite nice for a guy. I like him, but after 2 months, I realized that our opinions are entirely opposite in response to the pandemic. He doesn't believe in COVID or the government. We live in Melbourne, Australia, by the way. He refuses to get a jab while being an essential worker, and even mentioned about flat Earth. Cutting off people is still a hard thing for me to do, because we do get along well apart from this. Has anyone had any similar situations? I'd love to hear your stories and opinions.
Before you go on, Bailey, do you mind switching the OBS to the gameplay? I
Yes,
forgot to mention
boss.
that.
Continue on,
Sorry.
Mom.
Yes, sir. He's got to go because
Simple as that.
because
There we
okay,
go.
but this is why. This is why. Because if this is somebody, okay, so if this is somebody that she's interested in pursuing a legitimate long-term future with, there's a lot of things you need to consider. Do you want to be 75 still arguing about the fact that the earth is not fucking flat because there is enough studies to prove that it is not? Or the possibility of having children with this man and then them going to school and the amount of uncomfortable arguments that are going to happen when your child returns home. Not only that, but the fact of having children with a man who does not believe that a vaccine is helpful when we all know that it is. You do not want that person making decisions for your children should something happen to you and him be solely responsible for them. He's got to go.
Yeah,
That's it.
he's
There's no
being
way around it.
he's being like super immature about this.
Yeah. If this is a short-term fling, girlfriend, if you want to do this for like months, by all means, get it. You know what I mean?
Get the
But
bag, yeah.
children, future, long-term, 75, arguing about the fact that the Earth is not flat. No,
Yeah.
you could not pay me. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, this
I
is like
won't.
a sad complacency I see all too often of like, oh, well, he's a good guy, so like I don't really push too hard on X, Y, and Z. It's like, well, if you're saying that, it means you disagree with him, and that's like not
Right.
healthy for you, you know?
No.
And it's sort of like, can you imagine the conversations that they have? Just like anything would be centered around these topics for
I mean,
the dude.
all I can think about is her just being mansplained to. And then
Oh,
her
yeah.
being like, it's
Yeah.
okay because the sex is good. It's okay because his conversation's good all the other times. No.
Oh, because he takes me out for dinner and buys me fucking Uber Eats twice a week. So that's,
Yeah.
he takes care of me,
No.
right?
I'll pass. Wholeheartedly. I just couldn't imagine like raise children or, apply for a mortgage with somebody who I fundamentally disagree with. Because I get the whole
Oh,
like
yeah.
opposites attract, right? We get that, we understand that. That's fine when you don't have core political views that could literally alter your life. Because chances are, and no offense because I don't know everything, but chances are if Buddy doesn't believe in, basic healthcare, what are his stances on abortion? That's my next question. Women's rights?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to decide what we do with our body? Or is that part of your flat earth theory? Curious.
Yeah, it's like I was having a debate with my cousin and like at least be consistent with your issue. So yeah, if you are gonna like anti-masker, you probably are also anti something that's like uh kind of in the same realm of things, but like it's also out of your uh, control too. So I think he has a high chance of being like anti-masker.
Yeah.
That is
No
not
thanks.
fun. Not fun. I don't support it. I don't support it, and you should just get the heck out of there. Don't be one of them. Don't be a Becky that's just with John because he was a varsity football player, and he had dreams. He's just trying to find his new one. You don't need to put up with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Like,
the
it's
story I
not-
hear all too often. Well, he was a good guy
Yeah.
and he had a path. He just, he lost his way. It's like, well, fucking help him find a new one.
Right?
Or yeah, like it's and again, like he person like that should know that like there is things that don't like that contradicts his views,
Yeah.
and he should have
I mean,
enough of a brain to be like, okay, no.
the thing is, like, she knows already. I'm just gonna say, she knows she's not staying in that relationship long. She already knows that. She's already decided that this is not the person for me. What she's trying to do is get some sort of confirmation so that she doesn't have to be the one to think all the mean things about him and think that because this is the thing. Finding a guy is really fucking hard to do because men suck. So when you find a good one, to some degree.
Mhm.
When you find the thing that's wrong with them, it's like, ugh, why do you have to be
And
this? You know what I mean?
it's oftentimes too late as well. They're
Well,
like
this is it, right?
exploring.
Because she knows if you work in healthcare and you fundamentally disagree with a vaccine or any sort of, you know, protocol around COVID right now, or you don't think this, do you actually work in healthcare? Are you
Mhm.
actually there every day? Are you paying attention? Please. Like,
Yeah.
no. There is no way
Yeah,
around
it's
that.
like how can you be in a profession where like your
Mm-mm.
sole job is to do that to people,
Literally
and
to
then
care about
you're
other people's health and
yeah,
like
and then
mend people who are sick from COVID and then go, seems fake, bro. Can't
yeah, it
buy it.
seems like the body is racking up here in the ICU. That's like the government
Bro, you don't
screwing
get
Fake
it.
you.
news.
You don't
Meanwhile,
get it. I read so much on Rebel Media when I got home. Like you just
oh
you
man,
didn't
I feel
read what
sorry
I
for you.
read.
Oh
You know,
god.
like if
Wait,
you
are you being
watch
sarcastic?
if you watch Tucker, you would know
Yeah,
the real facts about this
It's
cuz
Tucker.
what they're showing me
Tucker
at the
Carlson.
hospital isn't
Yeah.
the truth, you know?
Yeah.
That's what
What did you
happens. It
doctor
becomes
know?
an insular tunnel because, like, when you're a nurse, you're a healthcare practitioner, you end up fucking in this cycle of you're so absorbed in your work, you go home and then they're reading the fake news, and that's the only news they're getting as well. So they're gonna believe that what they're
Yeah.
seeing is
Yeah.
false too, right?
And then like I also see that with like if you go on like these Toronto pages and like you see a post with like, oh, 80% of Canadians support a third person shot or blah blah whatever the fuck, but then you look at the comments, like, huh, must be fake news. Who are they asking? Because that narrative completely disagrees or goes against my own narrative that I got on Facebook. But then you see a post that's like, oh, such and such are protesting against the mandate, and like, good people, this is real news. Like, it's like what people want is they pick and choose what's news and what's not news.
Yeah.
Bro, you know how many world freedom rallies I've seen advertised now? Like, holy fuck, how many times are we gonna have a freedom rally?
Aren't we
Ugh.
free? I haven't lost. Like I'm where you're on social media looking at these protests, but like my life has not changed one bit. I'm
No.
still being discriminated against. It is what like that's still going on. But all of a sudden, you can't go to Chuck E. Cheese, and now it's a cry for help or like a big deal. Get a
Yeah.
grip.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and all the people who are protesting it, they're upset that they can't go to dinner outside every day because of
Well, let me just okay, I know you're gonna say things, but let
sorry,
me just say
I'm generalizing stuff, but
no, but let me just say all these people who are like they're taking away my rights to go to the movies and go to the mall and eat dine in and go to club. You that is
yeah,
not a human right.
right,
A
yeah,
human right is food, shelter, water, and clothing. Okay?
hmm hmm
Going to a restaurant to get drunk with your buds is
hmm
not your right. It is a privilege. And in order to enjoy said privilege, you have to do what the government asks you to do. Like they've been
yes,
asking you to do since you were a fucking child when you couldn't go
yeah,
to school without your vaccines then.
hmm
Shut up. You
hmm
sound dumb.
You heard it here first, guys. My mom says shut the fuck up.
Honestly,
Yeah,
nothing makes
it's
me
so
angrier than hearing people say it's my right. It's not your right. You are a fucking idiot.
and then like yeah, like
There's a
it's
studio
like
owner near mine, and it's just I'm compounding super quick because I have the same. It's just all I hear
Mm-hmm.
constantly of, oh, it's just getting in my way, and it's so difficult to go out. It's like that's your
Stupid.
It's difficult to go out. Like that's your word.
Stupid.
yeah,
You
That's your
sound
word.
yeah.
dumb. You sound dumb.
And then to me it's just like yeah, what wine mom is saying, all of these things are privileges. Like to go to a restaurant, you can no one's saying, hey, you can't do takeout. Why do you need to
Exactly.
just sit there? But like what was I going to say? Oh, like the vaccine passports. If you look at where they're needed, where you have to need them, it's all like places where you would socialize. It isn't places that you would need to go. A grocery
Exactly.
store, you don't need a vaccine man or a vaccine passport. Hospitals, you don't need them. Places where it's a necessity to go, you don't need, well, you don't need them. But it's
Well,
all these supplementary stuff like
right.
malls and shopping centers, all
But
that.
to be fair, I think if people are going to the grocery store, I
Mhm.
still think that they should have to be vaccinated. Just saying. I get it,
Oh,
but you can
yeah,
order your groceries
yeah,
online, and I don't want
yeah,
your stinky hands all over the vegetables. Sorry, don't fucking
yeah.
care how you feel about that, but that's a hot take, so that's
Yeah, it's a
mine.
hot take.
Spicy,
Just saying.
spicy
Just
That's a hot
saying.
take.
summary. You guys want to round
Just
up the
Yeah.
saying.
pod? Round up the pod with that
Okay, yeah.
spicy take.
So to wrap it up, in other words, sweetheart, get the fuck out of there. That guy is gonna be a problem for life. So just save yourself the
Yeah.
trouble now. Okay.
100%.
There are hot boys that believe the Earth is round. Trust me.
I don't want them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Go dial 1-800 marching into madness. You want hot boys who believe the earth is round? We've got
Yes.
you.
And get darlings, get your
Yes.
boy over here.
Plenty
Yes,
of
yes.
supply. Plenty of supply. Come and get them. You're a handsome
Well,
fella.
come
You're looking for
on
a
down.
nice MILF that believes in science. We got wine mom. We got come on down. So
I'm
thank
dead.
you for
I've
watching.
died.
As
I'm
I said,
You want a hot
everybody.
mom, a hot dad? You got a dildo over here. Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. For the recorded people, that have fun with that outro, and then for the people still here, I get to
Why?
plug in videos here, and
Why
I
do you have
can
a
be
job?
lazy while you listen to me
Get
babble.
a job.
Because I get to cheat. I get to cheat this week, and then next week, you guys, I get to push a button, and you see an outro. So thank you, live stream. I appreciate you tuning in. Y'all are great people. We're gonna go to Let's Chat. So I see a couple of you hanging out. You want to give your opinions? You can give your opinions. If not, we're gonna sit here and just keep bullshitting. So thank
Drop
you,
your
everybody.
stinky opinions.
Switching over to Let's Chat time.
Thank you again for watching us badly talk about these topics.
You can follow us on Twitch, Marching Into Madness, all one word, no space. On the gram, marching_into_madness, and on Patreon at patreon.com/marchingintomadness. And again on Le Discord at Marching Into Madness.
Join us, and Bailey will pay you 10 whole Canadian dollars.
You can follow Whitey over at gnarly_media on the Insta. You must definitely follow the life of our whole podcast, Wine Mom, at X Wine Mom X, because the year's 2002, and we still have the X in our names. And me, your favorite brown boy, at _r Malik _.
Thank you for the third time. We love you. Drink some milk and be healthy.
Remember, kids, say no to school and yes to
It's like such bad advice. It's like, here we put this well-formulated podcast together with good insight on facts and truth and political points and social issues. Don't go to school, dude.
Oh, God.
Bailey listens to
Motherfucker
me.
shouldn't be near school after saying that.
It's like Bailey listens to me say the sentence and he goes, maybe I should say my sentence now.